Welcome to another episode, episode 13, Guides. In this episode, I want to show you several ways how you can use guides to make your work easier. How you can lock them, unlock them, so they won't be in your way. How you can position them exactly where you want, and a few other tips and tricks. If you want to see more about guides, let me know in the comments and I can make another episode about a little bit more in-depth information. I hope you like this episode. Let's dive in. Welcome to this video, Guides. Guides can help you if you want to align objects. Aligning is also an option in Illustrator, but I will show you that in another video. But sometimes aligning isn't working the way you want, or it's really difficult to get it right. Then guides are easier to use than the alignment option. So for this episode I will show you the guides, how to use them and how you can place them exactly where you want. Let's start with displaying your rulers. It makes your work much easier. You can use on your keyboard Command R or go to View, then Rulers, Show Rulers. My rulers are set to millimeters at the moment because I told in preferences to put it in millimeters. But if I want to have it in pixels, I can change it here. So push the right button on the ruler and then tell it which metric you like. Inches, millimeters, centimeters, pixels, picas or points, whatever you like to work with. Pixels. Because if I make something for internet, I use pixels, but sometimes I need exact millimeter measurements. So then I choose millimeters. Just depending on my project, I change the metrics. Now I will use pixels. The origin of my artboard is in the left top corner. Here is 0, 0. And to make a guide is really simple. You click on the ruler and drag it down. You see a dotted line. If I release it, it's a blue line or a little mint colored. Pick it up again and put it exactly on the 200 here on the left. Now I know I have 200 pixels down a ruler. 200 pixels down a guide. I can drag another one and put it on the 400 and so on and so on. There is another way to place your guide exactly. I'll show you the vertical one. It's exactly the same, but you push it from the other ruler, from the left bar, and then on top I look at 200. So now I have a square of 200 by 200 pixels here in the left and here. So if you want to have a vertical guide, you pull it from the left side. This one 400. If you want a horizontal guide, you pull it down from the top ruler, 600. So if you want to pull a lot of them and place them in a grid or something like that, sometimes it's easier to work with the properties panel. You go to Window and you open your properties. It's already open, so I will pull it up so you can see it. It's over here. This is my properties panel. I will scale it a little bit. So if I just click here, I have no selection, so nothing is selected. And I have some options for my artboard. But if I click this guide, it says a path is selected and I can see where it is. So you see it's at 600 exactly where I put it, so I did that correct. This is not relevant because it's over the whole width, so this doesn't matter where it's at. But if I select this one, you see it's not exactly at 200, it's at 199. And now I have the X to look at. So if I want it exactly, I make 200 of this. So with the properties panel, you can place your guides exactly. If you find it hard to select it, like this one is also not exactly 400. You can also drag over it to select it, like I showed in the episode about the selection tool. You get a marquee in dotted lines, and then you see that it's blue, so you know this one is selected. So if I pull down now one extra, and I want it to be exactly at 800, it's selected already. I just put in the Y 800, and it puts it exactly there. So I can pull out several guides and then one by one select them and say where I want them. This one 1000, this one 1200, this one 1400. So you can build a grid very fast. The same for this side. So this is just your preference, what you like to do best. 600. Click anywhere, select 800. Tap or click anywhere. I pull it out of the way. So now you see I have made a grid really fast, really easy. So when I want to draw something or align something, let's say I want some squares, push the M on my keyboard, or I select the rectangle tool. And if I now go to this corner, you see an intersect. That means that I'm exactly at the corner. Without holding my shift key, that makes it a perfect square. It's a perfect square now. You see 200 by 200 in my little box. So it's an exact square because it uses those guides to make this square. So if I want to have a square exactly at this point, so with 200 between in height and 200 between here. So let's say I want it here. I put intersect and here 200 by 200. Oh, you can't see it. I will fix that for you. I'm sorry. Black line. Go to the V tool. Sorry. V to select the other one. And make it a black stroke. You saw that happen just now. I wanted to select my square and now it selects my guide too. If you don't want this and you want this guide to help you but not be in the way if you work, you can go to View. You have guides here and then you see lock guides. If you lock them, they're still here, but you can't select them anymore. To unlock them, you go to Guides and say Unlock. You can even hide them, so if you want to see how your work looks, you can say Hide my guides. And if you want to go on with the rest of your work, you go Show guides. So it's easy to make guides, it's easy to position them, you can show them and you can lock them, you can unlock them and you can hide them. So now I make those two squares. You see I can select them both without selecting my guides now. I will make my stroke a little bit thicker so we can see it a little bit better. Okay, I have two squares. Now maybe I pushed M again for the rectangle tool. You can also hear the center of this square will be here to start at. So I can make a square till the center of the other one. So now I know this square is also exactly a square and it's exactly 400 big because it's half of this square, a complete one, and half of this one. So 100, 200 and 100 is 400. So this makes it really easy to make a pattern or an object or align things, especially symmetrical artwork. So I hope you enjoyed this video. And you learned something. If you want to learn more or you want to see anything more about this, let me know in the comments and I will make another video for you about some in-depth information. Thank you for watching.